Well, hello there, and today I'm going to discuss the three things you absolutely need to know if you're going to get out of a toxic relationship. So, toxic relationships are toxic. We know that already, folks, but why do people stay in them? Why do we get caught in toxic relationships? And let's face it, we've all been there. I'm sure you have been there. This is not in any way meant to judge you for being in a toxic relationship. This is simply to question you as to why you're staying there and to give you a formula of how to get out. So we all need that wake up call. We all need our best friend to give us a kick up the backside occasionally. In fact, your best friend, if you've been in a toxic relationship, has probably been telling you this for ages, ages and ages. We're all experts in our best friends' relationship ins and outs, maybe not so good at our own. That hypocrisy of life, folks, the emotion factor that we just don't factor in. Have you ever wondered why it's so easy to give your friends, your good friends, relationship advice and to see things so clearly, but to not see things very clearly when it comes to you or take advice? So I'm probably not going to tell you much that you don't already know, but what I am going to do in this video is give you a route out. I'm going to give you three things that you absolutely have to happen in order for this to move in the right direction, in order to plan your exit route. And that's what this video is all about today, folks. So the first thing, and this is the most important, the first thing, you have to wake up to it. If you're watching this, you're probably a healer, empath, light worker. You're someone with high empathy. You're somebody that is very good at keeping the peace. You're very good at understanding other people's emotions. You're very good at quite a lot of things to do with everybody else. What you're probably not so good at is putting yourself in any sort of priority list as far as sorting out their issues. It's probably been for most of your life more important to solve other people's issues than your own. And this is why empaths struggle with this. This is why it's so easy to sort everyone else's problems out, not so easy to sort your own out. So waking up, this is the first thing you absolutely have to. The odds are your friends have already been telling you stuff to help you to wake up to this. You probably know it. You probably don't want to hear it. And you're probably making excuses. Here are some frequent flyers why people get caught in toxic relationships. So the first one, and this is probably the toughest one, when there's kids involved. When you've got kids involved with a toxic partner, you're finding reasons to stay with that partner because you feel that you need to be in that relationship for the sake of your kids. Well, as somebody that was a kid in that relationship, the issue I had with both my parents is, why did you stay together? Because of us. Now, obviously, when you're younger, you're probably not going to understand that dynamic as well. But when you grow up, things are going to be a lot easier to explain. Staying in a toxic relationship is just going to create more toxic experiences for everyone, and it's not going to benefit anyone in the long term, folks, from an emotional point of view. So the second frequent flyer is you can't afford to leave it. Probably got a mortgage, you've got shared finances, you've got shared expenses, and you can't even conceive what it would be like to downgrade or for someone to leave the house or to have to sell the house and move your separate ways. But trust me, there's always a way around that, folks. Once you hit that point, there's always a way around it. It may not seem at the moment, but it's definitely a factor. The other thing is obviously the fear of the fallout. Probably got a lot of friends and family that's going to judge you and give you a hard time. You'll have a lot of difficult conversations ahead. Yes, you will. You'll have a lot more difficult conversations ahead, though, if you don't do anything about it. So what you're doing is you're avoiding a grenade now in order to take a landmine later. It's never, either way, it's not going to be good, but it's going to be considerably better. And that's relative, folks, very relative. To deal with this sooner rather than later. But you already know that. You already know that. Somewhere in yourself is talking, especially if you're still watching this video now, folks. It's speaking to you. And it's been designed and energized to speak to you, because I have spoken to so many people that find themselves in this position. So this has been energized. It has been designed for you. You have to get rid of the toxicity when suddenly the big reveal. That's why I got this backdrop today. Suddenly that we wake up to the fact that there's some bad toxicity going on here. You know it's not right, and you know that something needs to be done about it. So next thing we need to do is to factory reset your mind. Now, this is the hard part, and this is the part that you're almost definitely going to need help with. And if you're trying to do this alone, you're probably going to just keep making excuses, keep putting your head in the sand, keep not doing it, but you need to do a factory reset. And part of that is just allowing yourself to think what life will be like without this relationship. Start to energize other alternatives. Start to energize that it's going to be better for everyone involved once you get out, especially you. So think to yourself now, if I'm going to rate your energy on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 is no energy at all, suicidal, and 10 is I'm in the best relationship of my life. What rating have you got? And if it's anything less than a 6, anything less, even a 6 isn't desirable. It really isn't, folks. But if it's any less than a 6, then you absolutely need to start doing this now. Because what will happen, here's what will happen. If you're below a 6 right now, what's going to happen is your energy is going to keep going down and down and down. It's going to be a death spiral. And however bad you think it is now, it's going to end up in a point where you're going to end up feeling suicidal. That's where it leads, folks. That's where it leads. And then you'll either commit suicide or you'll bounce, because things have to get so much worse before they get better. That's the end game here, folks. There's no substitute with that. You know, this is coming as sure as day. As sure as the sun rises, this scenario is coming if you're below a 6 right now. 100%. That means it's beyond redemption, this relationship, almost definitely. And the fast track is going to be to get out. So you have to allow yourself a factory reset of your mind. You need to start entertaining the exit plan and what it's going to take for you to get out of this relationship. So that's what you'll need. You'll possibly need help with. And if you're really struggling with that, folks, then reach out seriously, because if you haven't got someone that can help you through that, then reach out to me and let's have a conversation with no obligations, just to give you your options to get it from a third party. Because this is really, really important, folks. You have to at least ask for help. You have to at least explore what the option is and how that might help you and what might happen next. Because the odds are, if you've had your head in the ground, which we've all done it, folks. I don't know anyone in my close network, and some really sensible and incredible people. We've got a blind spot with our own relationships. I can't do it for myself, but I can do it for you. I can do it for other people. I've done it for a lot of people, helped them out of difficult conversations or difficult situations through asking them the right question and giving them an alternative perspective. You need someone that's professional at doing this, because otherwise I can tell you what happens next, and that's a health crisis. And how would I know that? Well, 13 years working in the NHS as a frontline nurse will tell me that. The question I used to ask everyone that came in is, what's caused you stress above and beyond in the last 6 months to 1 year? And everyone that came in with a serious medical issue, and let's look at serious medical issues, cancer, strokes, heart attacks, could answer that question straight away. Straight away, they could tell me what's caused them elevated stress. And I can tell you that the daily stress of being in a toxic relationship will trigger your stress response, and it will get you sicker and iller faster than any other thing. And it happens slowly. It's a bit like Chinese drip torture. It doesn't kill you at first, but eventually it will drive you nuts, and your health will reflect it. So that's the second thing. Now, the third thing, this is really important, and this is sort of part of the second thing as well. You have to energize, what does the perfect future look like? Now, this is where you allow yourself to deserve an incredible future. And you need to start thinking about, what does that look like? What does that look like? Imagine the person of your dreams that you're in. Maybe being alone is what you want. Maybe just in a community of like-minded people. Who knows? But you need to work out, what does the perfect future look like? Because all you're doing at the moment, odds are, is energizing a death spiral of seeing no way out, of feeling trapped, feeling stuck, and not allowing yourself the freedom of thought to energize something better. This part's really important, folks, because there's part of you that will feel that you don't deserve this if you're stuck in that death spiral. And you need to at least entertain it. You need to at least entertain what could happen in the future. If you were writing a film and you were the central character, and you've got carte blanche to write whatever it is you want for the next chapter, what are you writing? What are you energizing? And where are you at? And the odds are, if you're watching this video now, that you probably haven't allowed yourself to do that up until now. So what I'm going to tell you, to summarize this up, so the things you need to do: firstly, you need to wake up. Then you need to factory reset your mind. And you do that by planning and envisaging, articulating yourself, by envisioning a future that you want to be in. Really important, this part, folks. And as I say, look, if you're struggling with this, then by all means reach out to me on the comments here. Let's get in touch. Let's have a conversation. But there's going to be a whole load of resources. So if you haven't liked to subscribe to the channel here, because I'm going to be drip feeding information to you to help you on this journey. And if you want a video with an exercise to help you, to take you to another level, to start to reset the process, then watch this video here. And thank you for joining me